and welcome to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm Mason Smith, here tonight with Tom Albert, Kevin Murphy, Amalia Smith, and Amelia Hartner. We are here at the Frontier Regional Track and Field, where Frontier's boys soccer team is facing off the Lenox Millionaires, who are coming into this game with a 4-5 record. The Hawks 7-1-1. Their only loss of the season to East Hampton, and they had an 0-0 tie to Monument Mountain. The captains are meeting at the middle of the field right now for the coin toss, and this is going to be a pretty interesting game, Tom. The Hawks already played the Millionaires at the start of this season. They beat them 5-0, but the Millionaires have been performing fairly well recently. Yeah. They lost to two really good teams, South Hadley and Mount Greylock, but only by 1 goal, which is a pretty big achievement for them being in Division 5 as well.
Yeah, two good teams going at it tonight, and Frontier, they're having a phenomenal season so far, and Lenox, they're just going to play tough tonight. So
yeah, very tough, and we know Lenox tends to be a team that can get very emotionally invested in the game, and that can really help drive a team to success and execute in the way that they really need to. But it's definitely gonna be a really great game. Could very well be a close one as well. And we have some interesting news that we'll hear when we go down to the field for the lineups in a moment. Freshman number 23, Graydon Gifford, is allegedly going to be starting the game today for the Red Hawks, which I believe might be his first start of the season.
Yep.
Not the first time he's played, but first time he's been on the starting lineup. So congrats to him if that is true. And as the teams come off the field at the end of their warm-ups, we will go down to the field for the starting lineups.
Good evening, and welcome to Frontier Regional for tonight's game between the Millionaires of Lenox and our Frontier Red Hawks. Tonight's starting lineup for the Millionaires is number 1, Ben Marino. Number 5, Mickey Hernandez. Number 6, Sean Collins. Number 8, Devin Smits. Number 11, Fedor Sherez Volkla. Number 12, Duke Janig. Number 13, Addison Hall. Number 17, Louise Andrade. Number 19, Evan Love. And number 22, Harper Janig. And in goal, we have Jason Sibley. The coach for the Millionaires is Dave Hilfinger. And now, the Red Hawks starting lineup is number 4, Ben Kachiwango. Number 9, TJ Donovan. Number 5, Max Millette. Number 8, Gus Radner. Number 11, Ian Patrick. Number 17, Eric Larson. Number 12, Carter Miller. Number 3, Diego Frazier. Number 15, Casey Bessler. Number 23, Graydon Gifford. And number 1, Jack Cusson. And your coaches for the Red Hawks are Evan Horton and Matt Zaratny. At this time, we ask for everyone to please rise and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem.
Hello and welcome to Frontier Community Access Television. We are just about to get underway here in South Deerfield. It's a pretty brisk night tonight, Tom. I just looked at the weather. It's at 62 degrees and expected to drop as the night goes on. We had a little bit of mist on the field last night when we covered the field hockey game.
Oh, wow.
That's always a cool sight. I love to see it. It's just like a little eerie, especially now that we're in October.
Yeah, it's definitely a little chilly out here, but
yeah,
we're definitely dressed for it. So.
Yeah, we were saying the next few games might have to get some jackets.
Yep.
But now after the national anthem and the coin toss, it looks like the teams will be taking a quick huddle. And you can see on the sideline, it looks like we have a couple of seniors that will be waiting to come in a few minutes into the game. Tavo, Vincent Warner, and Will Redding. Vincent Warner tends to be on the back line for the Red Hawks, and also a few members of the JV game that just finished a few minutes ago. We can see them on the sideline. Also a few JV players on the sideline for the Millionaires, who are a little short on their roster by the looks of it. And the other notable thing about Lenox's roster is that in goal tonight is Jason Sibley, who's a sophomore, when they also have a goalie who is a senior.
Yep.
That was something we were talking about. We have two young goalies in net tonight on either end for both teams. And now the first 40 minutes of the game is underway here in South Deerfield. Hawks will take the kickoff. And on the far side, that's Gus Radner. Pass goes beyond his intended receiver. And it will be a throw-in for the Millionaires. I wish there was like a shortened version of that.
Yeah.
The Millionaires. I feel like they could come up with something.
It could be the Millies.
The Millies. And that ball goes out of bounds. Good defensive play from Diego Frazier. But now the Millionaires inching closer to the box of the Redhawks. Bessler on the play there for Frontier. And now Pachurik trying to get it out, and he does. The challenge is not there for the Millionaires, and Graydon Gifford, who is the starting striker, along with Pachurik and Donovan, will receive the throw-in. Centering pass is deflected. He tries again, and it's blocked for a second time. He will let the ball go out of bounds and will be a Redhawks throw-in. Now, I believe this is a new formation for the Redhawks. Before, we had just seen Pachurik and Donovan up forward as the strikers, but now we're seeing number 23 Gifford up there as well.
Yeah, maybe they moved into just try to different formation here.
Yeah. The header from Cachuango in the box is out and away with the defenders of the Millionaires. Pass back, and now forward on the far side is sent the other way by Bessler. Lost the ball, and now Larson is there to capitalize. Spin move puts the defender on his knees, and a nice pass forward to Donovan over the head. Cross, and the header isn't there for the Hawks, and it will be punched out. Radner's there, can't make the stop. Millette punches it and scores!
Wow.
A quick strike from Max Millette from outside of the box, and the Hawks take an early lead 1-0.
Yeah, I was not expecting that at all. I mean, the deep shot there from Max, and it works out for him.
He was really lucky with that. I think that the goalie didn't dive for it, so I have to assume that he thought it was going out.
Yeah, I think he did as well. I mean, you just got to be ready for that.
Yeah. I mean, tough mistake from a young goalie, and now the Millionaires are down 1-0.
Goal scored by Max Millette.
Unassisted, too. It was off of an attempted clear from Lenox. And now the Hawks putting the pressure right back on. Graydon Gifford receives the throw-in, cuts inside, pass forward to Pachurik. He's going to get there in time, and open goal, Donovan!
Oh, man.
Can't tuck it away.
That is just unfortunate there for Donovan.
Really rough, and already some big miscues from Sibley in goal. I mean, that's an opportunity. The ball's right in front of you. You got to dive on top of it.
Yep.
It's a little scary if you got someone there who might, end up kicking you in the gut or in the face, but that's the play you got to make. The goal kick headed forward by Bessler, and now a throw-in for Lenox. Looking for Collins, and he'll throw over his head. Kick down the field by Frazier, racing for it, and he will get there first. A few nice moves to get through the strikers. And trying to make something there for the Millionaires was Fyodor. Bessler clears it out for the Redhawks. Headed back to the middle. Larson is there. Eric Larson takes the near outside. And now Donovan cuts back, forward, tip to Pachurik, now back to Larson. Larson looks forward, and it's Gus Radner that's there in the corner, and the ball is out on a challenge. Will be Frontier's throwing.
Yeah, Frontier with a good opportunity here. And I mean, they're already up 1-0, and we've only played about 4 minutes here, so.
Yeah, I mean, they've had several great chances already, dominating the early minutes of this game. A short throw into Radner. Chips it in the box, and it's cleared out by Lenox. The volley, and Pachurik sends it wide.
Yeah, that was a nice shot on goal there by Pachurik, but just didn't work out for him.
Yeah, not quite in the right place on his foot. I think we've seen 2 possible chances for Lenox to have something, and the zone time for the Redhawks in their offensive end of the field has been dominant so far.
Yeah, they've done a very well job of controlling the ball, and Lenox needs to do something differently.
Yeah, and even the clears from the goal kicks are just getting shut down by the back line of the Redhawks, who's playing very far up right now. Miller, aggressive, and now Radner sends it forward to Gifford. Graydon Gifford on the far side. Gifford pulls it high, and it hits the windshield of the golf cart. Glenn's not going to be happy about that.
No, he won't be.
I mean, this has got to be a really tough start mentally as well for the Millionaires. They came to this game off of some close losses thinking, hey, maybe we could even pull off a win against the Red Hawks, and to be down this early, I mean, it's heartbreaking. Over the head of Donovan. The pass back from Lenox is mixed up with Larson.
Yeah, Frontier's just been doing an excellent job of controlling the ball and moving it properly.
And a nice quick pass forward to Donovan, who sends a little too far ahead of him, but the clear goes out of bounds. Throw in from TJ Donovan over the head of Graydon Gifford, who's already had a couple chances so far in the game, and Larson gives it up, and it's out of bounds on the Millionaires. Throw in to the middle, and the whistle is blown. Illegal throw in. Didn't have it quite over his head. He kind of sidearmed it, I think was the motion. Yeah. Two people tying their shoes down the field, and it goes over the head of Radner, who was down tying his shoe. Gifford gets there, and he lost the ball for a moment. Now it's cleared back out. Stopped by Frazier on the other end. Radner's still tying his shoes. And now it's sent up the field. A great pass by Donovan up to Gifford. Gifford, the stutter step, and he's shoved off the ball. And it will be a free kick.
Yeah, good opportunity for the Hawks here.
Great positioning. Radner calls it, sends it right to the goal, and he scores! Radner takes it himself, and they're up 2-0.
Yeah, excellent shot on goal by Gus Radner there.
The goal was, I mean, Sibley was not expecting that. They had everyone lining up. He was waiting for it, and he just pulled a quick shot to the near corner.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't expecting that at all. So Frontier with an early lead, 2-0. We haven't even played 10 minutes yet.
Oh my God, you're right.
Frontier goal scored by Gus Radner.
Another unassisted goal for the Red Hawks as the Millionaires struggle to break out of the midfield. Radner with it, cuts back, looking for Larson. There he is. And he'll go back to Cachuongo, senior captain who scored in their last game. One of the 7 goals against Mahar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Radner up to Donovan and a little too far. It's Coach Evan Horton to make the stop on the sideline for the Red Hawks.
Yep, nice play there by the coach.
And something that I can't seem to wrap my mind around, Tom, is even the throw-ins that Lenox has, they seem to be going directly to Frontier's players.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's some miscommunication that keeps happening, but it's happened consistently enough where it's just I don't really know what's going wrong with it.
Yeah, it's almost a little surprising as well. I mean, normally you would just see you throw to their own players, you know. So
yeah, you can see a shot down the sideline and an opportunity in the box. Pulls it high and will be a corner for the Millionaires.
Field goal was good though, Mason.
Yeah, you heard a few kids call it out.
Yeah.
And that's Sean Collins setting it very high and far. The header from Cachuongo will clear it out. And now on the far side is the Red Hawks. Gifford tried something fancy and it gets intercepted. Running back into position is the Millionaires. Step back. And trying to break free is Millette. Loose ball in the midfield. Cachuongo gets there up against Fyodor, and he wins it. Short pass, Patrick has to cut back. Now he sends it forward to Donovan, gets by a defender. TJ Donovan Can't cut to the inside. A nice defensive stop from Lenox. And another Hawks throw in from the near corner.
It looks like Max Millett will be throwing it for the Hawks.
Long throw in into the box. Popped up. Donovan can't get it down. Heads it again. And he's still in the mix as it gets cleared out and will be Frontier's throw-in. No, it's Lenox throw-in. And that seemed more like a standard throw-in, but he just overshot him that time.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not sure what I can point to as an explanation for it. It seems to be, they win the ball on the sideline as it goes out, and that's an opportunity for you to get things going, move it down the field. You have to be capitalizing on that. It seems like such a textbook thing.
Yeah, and I mean, something they could do as well is just throw it in short to the player and see if that works. I mean,
yeah,
the long throws aren't really quite working for him.
Yeah, and Kachiwango gets a little ahead of himself, and that leads to a Lenox throw-in, but doesn't really come to much as they turn it over again. Up to the far sideline, Miller is there to take the throw-in. Looking for Pachurik. He finds him. Pachurik in the corner now. Cuts it, and he scores! Buries it in the far corner. And once again, no reaction from Jason Sibley. 3-0, and we're now just past 11 minutes into the game.
This is something, Mason. I mean, 3-0 in the first 11 minutes. This is wild.
And now, I mean, this is ridiculous to me. Look at we've got players coming on for the Red Hawks. Pachurik taking a seat, Donovan taking a seat, and Gifford taking a seat. Coming onto the field is Will Redding, Tavo Vincent Warner, and that's Henry Pleasant. Some fresh legs on the field, including on the offensive side of things.
Frontier goals scored by Ian Pachurik.
And that was assisted by Carter Miller off of the throw-in. I don't know if that actually counts as an assist.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure either.
I mean, I know a pass would be an assist, but a throw-in, I'm not too sure. And Vincent Warner in midfield called against Lenox by the looks of it.
Yeah, it looks like the referee was talking to one of the players.
Yeah. Maybe giving him a little warning. I'm not sure. And a discussion being had between Vincent Warner and his coach. Not too sure what that would be about. And Donovan throws a Gatorade into the crowd.
Some shenanigans going on
Yeah.
Frontier's bench.
A good lineup on the sideline, too, for the Red Hawks as Frazier sends the ball into the box, and it's a good save from Sibley, his first of the night.
Yeah.
High punt. Redding is right there for it. The header over to Vincent Warner. Skips over his boot. And now moving it forward, Theodore gets past Frazier. Looking for his buddy on the far side, whose number I can't read because their numbers are in neon yellow. I wish that they had black uniforms.
Yeah.
This is worse than South Hadley. At least South Hadley had a nice little outline and a great pass from Redding, calling for it from Pleasant, and it gets taken away out of bounds. That was a great setup, and he put himself in a great position for a centering pass against Sibley.
Yeah, Frontier, they do have another opportunity here, though.
As Millett with a long throw-in, headed out. Millett might get there, and he doesn't. Cut back by Collins. Sean Collins can't clear it out, and a bad touch from Redding almost gets away from Radner. And now to the middle with Larson. Cross the field. That's Kachiwango. Or no, excuse me, that's Vincent Warner.
Frontier has been very dominant of controlling the ball.
And a very clear foul there against Reading as he gets taken down on the near side.
Let's see if he cards him.
And the ball was nowhere in sight on that play. That was a challenge directly behind it.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, a textbook call for the ref.
Yeah, he probably gave the player a warning there.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that he would. Frazier into the box, looking for Cachuongo, and it's batted out of the air and scooped up by Sibley. And Cachuongo wants another goal. I mean, he had a great one against Mahar, I've been told. Frazier lets the ball go by him. Theodore right behind him, running for it, and Cusson will scoop it up. Theodore asking for something, but I don't know what it would be.
Yeah.
Millette makes a good move up the middle, and Radner fighting for it in midfield. Trying to gain some distance, but Collins has some great handles. Miller takes it away from him, and now Larson looks up the middle. Radner isn't quite there, and Collins clears it out. Cachuongo decided it wasn't going to go out of bounds, so he sends it right back up to Radner. They're liking the near side tonight.
Yep.
And Reading keeps it in play. Will Reading stutter step up to Henry Pleasant. Pleasant can't center it to Reading, and it will be a throw-in for the Hawks. They're getting, I mean, that's the exact scenario that you want to see. You got a guy on the wing and two guys up the middle. That's exactly how you want to be scoring a goal, and they've gotten that chance time and time again, and it's a great job on, I guess it would be the right back. Yeah, the right back for Lenox, making stops again and again. Loose ball in the box, a few headers, brought down by Miller, chipped forward. Reading winds up and pulls it wide to the left.
Just a little wide there, and unfortunate for Reading.
And Radner comes off. Xavier Fripp will come on, and it seems like the whole bench is going to get a few minutes to play for the Red Hawks. Under 24 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, they're up 3-0. They don't have a lot to lose right now.
No, they really don't. I mean, you want to make sure that you don't let your guard down this early in the game because, I mean, you can't underestimate your opponent ever. You should never do that. But, you know, nothing that Lenox has done so far has made it seem like they've been posing any kind of serious threat to Jack Cusson on the other end of the field.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen like one or two shots on goal, and that's about it from Lenox. So
yeah.
They need to figure something out offensively to get themselves back in the game.
Yeah, and the back line just playing a little drill right now, passing it between themselves. And starting to get pretty physical in midfield. Cachuongo heads it up to himself, a centering pass. And Fyodor sends it to the far side. And Vincent Warner gets held a bit, no whistle, as he clears the ball out for the Red Hawks. Miller trying to get to it, and he lets go out of bounds. Throw in down the field. That's Henry Pleasant on the ball, and he gets taken down hard, slow to get up, and that will be a free kick.
Yeah, that one's got to hurt.
And this is why, you know, we heard a little bit about the Millionaires from some guys on the team and the JV squad as well. Before we started the stream tonight. But this is why there's a lot of people here in support of the Red Hawks, because this team, as we said before, is known to get in their emotions a lot, and not always in the best way. Loose ball and brought out of the box by the Millionaires. Millette cuts to the outside, and Larson's there for him. Back to Millette, and Larson again. Larson has an opening, pulls it, and it's batted up and over the net. A good save from Jason Sibley.
Yeah, but that will give Frontier a corner and another opportunity trying to score.
Well, the good news about the weather is that the wind's more or less stopped.
Yeah.
It was blowing a little hard when we started the stream, and I didn't have my sleeves rolled up, but now I do. Getting a little more comfortable up here. It's just always my hands.
Yeah.
When it gets bad enough, I just can't feel my hands anymore. Corner sent in, and headed out will be another corner for the Red Hawks. Going to be taken by Eric Larson. And it does seem like they're cycling through a lot of the players that might typically not get a lot of time, especially this early in the game. On the sideline, we have Tristan Valderrama and Sammy Sosa. Oh my goodness, what a goal! Max Smollett hammers it. What a play and what a setup from Eric Larson.
Yeah, nice job by the Red Hawks there, and Max Smollett with another goal there.
Wow. So Sam Bakari comes in for the Red Hawks, and so does Tristan Valderrama. Taking a break is Carter Miller and Casey Bessler.
Yeah, Frontier getting some of their bench players some time.
Yeah, and I mean, with all respect,
Frontier goal scored by Max Millette.
with all respect to Lenox, this does kind of classify for the Red Hawks as almost a filler game for them in their season. They have two really big games coming up next on their schedule. They're playing against East Hampton, which, according to a lot of the players, shouldn't be that much of a challenge for them, but they did lose to them in close fashion. It was 1-0, a misstep by the back line, a very rare one.
Yeah.
And
Frontiers fans with it's all over chant,
a little early for that, but also, you look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, 4-0. I mean, we played what you could say a quarter of this game.
Yeah.
And, you haven't seen a whole lot from Lenox so far.
The guy that's been playing the best for Lenox has been Sean Collins, number 6, and he's moving the ball forward right now as it's cleared out by Ben Cachuango. Pleasant moves it forward as he gets jumped on from behind. Pleasant picks it up in the middle of the field and gets taken out. That was a clean challenge.
Yeah.
As much as he did fall, that was a challenge right on the ball, so that was a good defensive play. And speaking of good defensive plays, it's Ben Cachuanga with the ball.
And this could be an opportunity for Lenox here, but again, it's just Frontier with the control.
Always with the control, never stressing. They have complete faith in their back line, as they should. I mean, every single one of those guys that's back there they're fantastic, and they really hold this team together in every way you can think of. And that was Andrade who helped to win the throw-in there for the Millionaires. Now maybe an opportunity. Fueled by their recent mistakes, the Millionaires look to capitalize on something. Frazier knocks down that shot, sends it down the field. Pleasant is in the landing zone, trying to catch up to it. And now it's sent back up to midfield for Lenox. To the inside. And Collins won't quite advance the ball to anywhere, and it will be a Red Hawks throw-in taken by Vincent Warner. And Hernandez intercepts it for the Millionaires. Pass back to Hernandez. And down goes Larson. Takes a minute to fix his boot as Millette turns on the jets for Bakari, and it will be a Millionaires throw-in.
Oh, and it looks like Lenox coach
Yeah.
called a timeout there.
And I mean, that's something you don't see pretty much ever with soccer, I don't think. But a timeout is called. 17:30 on the clock, and the Hawks are up 4-0 in an incredibly dominant start. They're going to take a quick break on the field, and so will we. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. Hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm still Mason Smith here with Tom Albert, Amalia Smith, and Amelia Hartner. We have under 20 minutes left in the first half, and the Hawks are up an astounding 4-0. Some quick scores and some strong offense for the Hawks, not to mention some great plays by their back line. And almost some miscommunication that could have cost them right there, but Frazier and Cachuango recover. Now, Vincent Warner will not get to the ball in time, but will be there to take the throw-in for the Red Hawks. Down the field, he's looking for Bakari. And Pleasant almost got away with it, but it bounced off of his thigh, it looked like. And the clear intercepted by Bakari. He's going to pass back. Max Millette. And now all the way back to Valderrama. Good reset from the Hawks. And now they work it back forward with Redding on the near side. Pass forward to Xavier Fripp. Fripp, far side. Now it's Vincent Warner. Centering pass. Cut short. That was meant for Bakari. But now pushing forward, Vincent Warner up to Pleasant. Shot goes wide to the right.
Yeah, I think he was intending to pass the ball there, but it just got away from him.
Well, I mean, that certainly is within shooting range for the Red Hawks. I mean, we saw a great goal from long range early on in this game, even though it is still pretty early on.
And Frontier really has done well of keeping it in Lenox's zone for the most part. I mean, we haven't seen much of the time where Lenox has it in Frontier zone. So
yeah, and beyond that, they've done a wonderful job of reading the open passing lanes that they've been able to create, because that's how they're able to keep the ball. It's not guys making crazy runs up the middle or anywhere. I mean, you see that every now and then, but they're smart enough and are aware enough of their teammates in the field to make those quick passes, easy passes, short passes to their teammates, which create all of these opportunities that result in goals. Over the head of Cachuango, Vincent Warner, it's still loose. Sibley couldn't get a hand on it, and it's punched out of bounds.
Yeah, and Frontier almost had an open chance there. I mean, like,
yeah,
the goalie was a little bit off his mark. So
yeah, I mean, by all rights, it should be 5-0. We remember Donovan, who had a wide open net and just pulled it barely to the right. But now the throw-in from the Hawks. Headers go by. Cachuango has a chance and scooped up by Jason Sibley. 4 subs on the near sideline for the Red Hawks. One of them I don't think I'm going to be able to tell you the name of because he was on JV. That's number 19. And Pleasant keeps it in play. And now the Millionaires let it go out for a goal kick. 4 subs coming in for the Hawks. Adrian Pazmandi, number 14, Grayson Bishop, number 23, Gaden Gifford back out on the field, and number 19, who will remain anonymous for the time being, just simply isn't on the roster.
Yeah, we saw him play in the JV game.
Yes,
so.
we did. Had some great plays in the midfield, and now he'll receive a pass from Gus Radner. Look back to Bishop. Radner. And now Fripp. Fripp sends it forward. A nice feed up to Bakari, who lays off. Pazmandi tries the setup, and it floats over the crossbar. I couldn't tell if he was trying to center it to Bakari or if he was going for the goal.
Yeah, it was almost close to being a goal there, but
yeah,
just a little wide to the left.
Yeah, it almost settled in that far corner there. And now coming in for the Millionaires is number 8, Devin Smits. Taking a breather is Elvis Cherez-Valak, whose brother, I'm assuming brother, could be cousin, Fyodor. Yeah, he's been one of the big offensive supports for the Millionaires, who haven't had many offensive opportunities at all, but when they've had them, he's been the main source of it, along with the guy who has the ball right now, who's Luis Andrade. And that's a good play against Will Redding from Hernandez, who helps to move it up. Spin move, my goodness, Diego Frazier. Don't hurt him, man. Oh my God. And that ought to be a card.
Yeah,
that was a blatant hit. Yellow card on Hernandez.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of just saw him push Frontier's player down. I mean, that is just uncalled for.
Completely uncalled for, especially, I mean, I'm not sure if he's aware of it, but I mean, that is a JV player that the Hawks are putting out there. I mean, given the kid some playing time, I'm sure he'll be on the varsity squad. He's certainly, I mean, that's what you have to assume if he's out there right now in a game this year.
Yeah, there's really no need for that.
Yeah. And now Frazier, who just put an excellent move on one of the Lenox defenders, will send it towards the goal. Sibley can't make the stop as it goes just over the crossbar. I thought for sure that was buried.
I thought that was going in as well. I mean, that was close.
And I mean, this is that shove against number 19 for the Hawks by Hernandez. I mean, that's kind of what we were talking about with, you know, the heightened emotions and it's almost really what's happening is they're getting upset at themselves that they're not performing to the level that they're expecting for themselves. And they hold themselves to high standards, which isn't a terrible thing. But when you take it out on the opposing team, you know, that's when it becomes a problem, and that's when you get yellow cards.
Yeah, it's kind of the aggressive play that you really don't want to see from, I mean, Lenox. I mean, that's something you just can't really do.
And also can't afford right now. There's a lot of game left. You can't count them out. You know, by all means, there could be a rally, and they could, you know, make this a very close game. But, you know, this early on, there's no reason for you to be getting that upset and making those kinds of stupid plays that are just, they're hurting yourself.
Yeah.
There's no gain in doing that. Meanwhile, on the field, Bakari makes a nice feed to number 19, who's back to Bakari. Tries the centering pass. He was looking for Fripp, but it's cleared out by the Millionaires. And there's Fyodor, whose pass forward is intercepted by Pazmandi. Adrian Pazmandi gets pushed down, and a free kick for the Red Hawks as Hernandez throws his hand up in the air.
I mean, that was another hard tackle from Lenox.
Yeah. I wouldn't say as blatant as Hernandez's, though. I mean, they had their arms on each other, and that's the kind of fall that you honestly see a lot if you watch the Premier League. You know, guys grappling and trying to get position on the ball. Should be a free kick for the Hawks. That was the right call, as it's sent forward by Frazier, and couldn't quite get an angle on it.
Another field goal is good, Mason.
Yeah, there's the football kids in the crowd holding their arms up.
Just about 9 minutes left to go here in this first half.
And something tells me this is going to be a long second half if Lenox can't make themselves pretty competitive pretty soon. Which I hope for their sake that they can, you know. It's a terrible thing to be blown out like this, especially if you can't get one goal at all, to be shut out in this manner the way that Mahar was a few days ago by the Red Hawks, 7-0. I mean, that's rough. Yep. The highest score that we've seen by a Frontier soccer team this year so far was, I forget the team they played against, but it was girls soccer, like their third game. They won 15-0.
Wow.
Which is, I mean, there's got to be a mercy rule at that point. You can't just let that happen. I mean,
15-0 is wild.
I can't even imagine. Like there was one girl who had 4 goals. There was like another girl that also had 3 goals. So there was 2 players who had hat tricks on the team, and it was, I mean, that's ridiculous. But now, maybe some life in the Millionaires. A free kick in midfield will be sent into the box, and I believe that's Pazmandi who helped to head it away. Hernandez, and cleared out by Frazier all the way down the field as the mist starts to creep in on the far side of the field, and Gifford can't quite get a handle on it. Long pass forward, and he's called off sides. That was Andare.
That's unfortunate.
Andrade, excuse me.
That's unfortunate for the Millionaires. I mean, that could have been a nice opportunity for them to try to go down and score.
And that's the kind of thing, well, you'll get them next time if you get opportunities like that enough. But, for them, that was a great setup and a great feed that just, stars didn't quite align for it. And now Bakari might have an opportunity on the near side. Makes a nice move, sends it forward, and he scores! Sam Bakari puts it in the top shelf. And it's 5-0 Red Hawks with 7 minutes to go. Only in the first half.
Yeah. Frontier, I mean, they just had a nice opportunity there. I mean, now up 5-0 against Lenox. This is
this is a new experience for me because I've seen on paper, I've seen on Mass Live, like massive wins by both of our, this school's soccer teams. And I've never experienced one. Every time I go, it's like, oh, well, I'm going because, it's going to be a close game. And I was told by the soccer players it was going to be an entertaining game. That's what they told me. And I suppose that's one way to put it.
Yep, just a lot of goals for the Red Hawks so far.
Yeah. And Gifford, deflected pass. Redding can't quite get there as it's sent forward to Andrade. Up to Fyodor. A nice touchback to Andrade, who gets shut down by Cachuongo. And that's what makes this backline so effective. They don't play around. They take the easiest way out, and they're smart about it, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like Lenox were going to have another opportunity to try to go down and score, but the backline just said, nope, not today.
It's just they don't waste any time about it. Just, one touch, clear it out. Easy as that. Yep. And they make it look easy. It makes it, you look down there and it's like, oh, I can do that. But you can't. It's a whole different thing.
Yep.
And that's when you know that some players really are just truly great when they make it look that easy and so effortless.
Yeah.
And now it will be a successful throw in for the Millionaires as it finds its way to Hernandez. And Fripp makes a nice move between the legs of Hernandez, number 19, whose name I will grab during halftime. Sends it between the legs of Redding, who catches back up with it. Turns the corner around the defender, and now turns on the Jets. Will Redding looking downfield. And it will be cleared out by Lenox. 5:30 on the clock. A little bit of pinball. And a short pass to 19, who sends it back across the field. Bakari tips it off of his head, and now Pazmandi has to calm it down. Tries the center, no one there. And Fripp off the clear. Rolls it in, and it goes wide to the left. Got a little on top of it, yeah. I'd say. He was trying to fire it in.
Yeah, Frontier still, I mean, that was another great opportunity for him, but it's unfortunate, went a little left.
And it looks like Grayson Bishop, yes, it is Grayson Bishop on the sideline. He's sitting on the team's cooler. He might have an issue going on with his left leg by the looks of it. Maybe a cramp, something going on with his knee.
Yeah.
Looks like we have our athletic trainer over there with him right now. We hope everything's doing okay with him. A good header from number 19 to send it back in the offensive zone for the Red Hawks. And between the legs of Gus Radner, he gets back to it, though. Fripp over to Redding, and he sends it back up to him, now past him. Bakari gets the ball from Graydon Gifford, puts a nice move at the top of the box. Down goes the defender. 19 might have a shot, takes it, and it's scooped up by Jason Sibley. And the whole bench was on their feet for that one.
And you heard Frontier's fans, they were saying warm up the bus already. I mean,
yeah, I mean, the AD, Glenn Sullivan, is down there, and he already told him one time I saw it. So, calm it down a little, guys. We don't want to demoralize them too much.
Yep.
Our team's already doing enough on the field. And I mean, this is the reason why they've been getting so highly praised around the school and around the state. They're ranked 4th in their division, 1st in their league, and, this is the reason why.
Yeah.
All the games we cover, it's like, oh, it's contested, but they're such a great team. And now chip shot, Radner, and down goes Sibley as he was run into by Pazmandi.
looks to be injured there.
Yeah, he did not realize that Pazmandi was there. It was not a rough hit from Adrian, but there was no way for Sibley to brace himself. That was the issue. And now it looks like Sibley will be maybe coming off. They're calling the coaches over. At least they're stopping the clock.
Yeah.
Sibley's still rolling. And we're going to go to a break as the coach comes onto the field. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. All right, hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. Sibley will be staying in the game. Looks like he might have gotten the wind knocked out of him. It took him a while to get up. And now it looks like he might be under some immediate pressure as Redding moves the ball back forward. Challenged by Hernandez, but he gets the pass off to Fripp. Bakari tries the far side again with Pazmandi, who gets the feet taken out from under him. That was just a good stop. I mean, that's when you're running with the ball and you're expecting an easy tap, and the defender's foot's right on the other side of the ball.
Yeah.
Almost flipped over.
Just unfortunate for him there.
Yeah, but it will be a Hawks corner. Gus Radner will be the one to take it. And we're coming in with 2 minutes left on the clock. Arm goes up for Radner and punched out by the Millionaires defenders. And Andrade gets a throw in on the far side. Will be moved back. And warming up on the sideline is the other goalie for the Millionaires, the backup goalie, Vincent Dragonetti, to possibly relieve Sibley, who is actually holding his back right now.
Yeah, maybe we'll see him in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, you try what you have to if you're down 5-0, and now we're under 2 minutes, so the refs will be keeping track of time, and it goes under the feet of number 19. Small misstep from what has otherwise been a very solid appearance from a JV player in a varsity game. And so in the second half, we'll see the last 5 minutes be played out just on the refs' watches, which just adds to the tension in a close game and makes it last forever in a game like this.
Yeah.
Cachuango moves forward, stops the ball, and now he's got to get back in position. Redding lets him with a nice stop there. And Cachuango loses the ball between his legs. He goes down on one knee. And since he's out of position, this might be an opportunity for the Millionaires, as it will stay not in play. Couldn't quite get to it in time. A great hustle, though, from the Millionaires. And a high throw-in to number 19.
And, yeah, he was just shoved there.
Yeah. And Vincent Warner almost clears it out, but it's stopped. Hit into the back of Andrade. And the shot, beautiful save. Jack Cusson lays out. And Tavo, Vincent Warner, what a play. This is why they're up 5-0. Forget about the offense.
Yeah, I mean, that was an incredible save. And then Tavo to slide in there and stop that shot. Wow.
This is why they're one of the best teams in the division. They hold their own every time. And Vincent Warner does so again off of the corner kick. And that is the half. 5-0, Red Hawks on top, and the first couple shots on goal come at the very end of the half for Lenox, and a great stop from Jack Cusson. We'll be back in around 10 minutes with the next 40 minutes of play, and I will go try and find out number 19's name for you all to give him some credit, because he very well might score a goal. We'll be back in a few minutes. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. Hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. We're getting right back into the action. Bit of a quick, a little earlier than we thought start. They started with about 50 seconds left on the halftime clock, so I'm a little out of breath from coming up the stairs. But we did find out the name of number 19, who is on the bench right now, but we'll give him some credit. Mickey Bronlow. Mickey is his nickname, but that's all we could get. Mickey Bronlow, who is an 8th grader, serving his time out on the varsity field tonight. He has his jacket on right now, so that could be a sign he's not coming back in, but maybe an opportunity here for Lenox, but Bessler shuts it down quickly. Pass forward to Hernandez, trying to put a nice move on Bessler, who does not back down. Tries the center, back to Hernandez. On the near side, Hernandez will be boxed out by Bessler, and free kick is called for the Millionaires.
Yeah, that was kind of an obvious shove from Frontier. But
yeah, I mean, a lot of contact for sure, and slow to get up is Hernandez. Standing next to him is Elvis Charas Volak, who I think we mentioned. Yeah, we did mention they were brothers before, right at the end of the first half. So Hernandez will take the free kick, it looks like. Sends it towards the goal, and it looks like Cusson might have gotten a hand on it, and the ref says he did.
Yeah, that was a nice shot by Lenox.
Yeah, great shot. And some good athleticism from Cusson as well to tip the ball away. It didn't look like he got much on it, but you never know. It could have been enough. And now a corner this time from the other side of the field. Header is not there for Hernandez. The volley stopped by Carter Miller as Hernandez is down on the field, slow to get up. He's at the top of the box right now. And Cusson, oh my goodness, what a save. Would have been an easy goal for Elvis if Cusson had let it get by him.
Yeah, he did a great job of jumping on the ball there.
And speaking of a great save from the goalies, in the other end of the goal is no longer Jason Sibley, it's Vincent Dragonetti. They're giving their senior goalie a chance here in the second half as they're down 5-0. We were saying before, I mean, what do you have to lose? You try everything you can.
Yeah.
Throw in for the Millionaires as they seem determined to get some offensive chances here early in the second half. And they have done that so far. Illegal throw-in called, and will be the Hawks' ball on the near side.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Lenox just came out of this halftime just with more intensity out there and putting a little bit more effort, it seems.
Yeah, definitely, especially from Hernandez. He's been the driving force so far, and that shot is sent to Cusson, who brings it down. A nice take from Devin Smits.
Yeah, Cusson jumped up there and grabbed that one.
Now a line drive, tap forward by Larson. Pachura can't quite get there, and now it's sent forward by Gus Radner. And sent out of bounds will be a Hawks throw-in. Carter Miller will take it on the near side, right about at the 25-yard line. He'll hand it off to Max Millette, who will not hand it off. Short throw-in, Gus Radner keeps it himself. And now the pass forward to Graydon Gifford. It will be a throw-in for Max Millette deep in the corner. It's very close to being a corner kick. Big windup as usual. Millette into the box. Brought down. Pachurik with a chance. Pachurik just needs to get some room, and he's swarmed.
Yeah, he had about like 5 players on him. So
yeah, it's a wonder he held the ball for that long, honestly. I mean, with the Hawks, they don't need to score goals anymore, Tom. They've scored as many goals as they really should need to win this game in the first half. They just need to kill time and hold on to the ball. Lennox's throw-in is taken away by the Red Hawks, but now sent way down the field by the back line of the Millionaires. Bessler, a nice touch from Miller up to Millette, but it's taken away.
Yeah, you could see Frontier play a little bit more defensively in this second half.
Now, pass back will go out of bounds. That was just a bad feed from Elvis. And the touch is not there for the defenders and almost goes out of the whole stadium. That's 2 balls that Lenox has sent out of play and out of the track in a row.
Yeah, that one almost went over into the practice football field.
And Miller won't get there in time. Will be a goal kick for the Millionaires. 6 minutes gone in the first half, and it started to go a little bit more back and forth now. Lenox gaining some ground. They had a few good early chances, forcing some nice saves from Jack Cusson. And, you know, I feel ultimately that's what they wanted to come out doing in this second half. Obviously put it in the back of the net as well, but it's a good start.
Yeah, I mean, they're finally developing more of a feel for this game and trying to get some opportunities for themselves.
Yeah. And now a Hawks throw in on the far side will be brought down by the chest. And that's Dragonetti on the stop. High punt, long, and clearing it out is Casey Bessler. We mentioned before, but Bessler, a new student here at Frontier. He's from Charlemont originally, and Carter Miller could not quite get there that time as well. The throw-in is brought down with a nice touch from Hernandez, who gets knocked down by Gus Radner.
Yeah, they'll give Lenox a free kick there.
Quick windup, sent down straight to the head of Bessler. Not a single Millionaire in the area there. And Pachurik moves it forward and will be scooped up by Dragonetti. They're trying to get it to Carter Miller on the near side, and he's doing plenty of sprinting to get to it, but it's always just a little bit too far ahead of him. The angle's too tight, and it just keeps going out of bounds on him right at the last moment.
Yeah.
And that was Donovan taking the throw-in. He was trying to get it up to Eric Larson, but now will end up being a throw-in for the Millionaires. Sub coming in, that's Sean Collins coming back into the field. He was a big star for the Millionaires in the first half, making a lot of play in the midfield. And the throw-in will go over his head right to a Red Hawk in Lenox's defensive end. Back heel pass. Donovan centers it. Miller, shot, and a save from Dragonetti. Great setup. I mean, that was a heck of a play by Donovan to get it in there, and a great back heel to get it to Donovan.
Yeah, Frontier had a nice opportunity there, but just couldn't quite finish it.
Radner loses the ball in a scuffle, and now Fyodor trying to fight for it. Cusson kills the play. Heaves it down the field all the way to TJ Donovan. Graydon Gifford on the far side. Might look for the center, and he does. It's Pachurik, open at the top of the box, and the ball's tipped away from him. A great position lost. And Bessler almost lets the ball get by him. Hernandez playing everything he's got to get there, but he just can't get beyond the long reach of Casey Bessler. It really is a mismatch in terms of size for him there.
Yeah.
And now a great feed up to Pachurik. Can he get a chance? And a good double team by the Millionaires. He's really doing a great job of penetrating right up the middle of the back line for the Red Hawks right now, Tom.
Yeah, he's done an excellent job so far.
And that ball will land on the track out of bounds. Donovan to take the throw in. Just takes it up to the middle. Now Miller, after the cross, will send it up to Radner, who has a little bit of room to work with. Miller, oh, a great move. Stutter step. Miller gets the ball knocked away from him.
Yeah, two nice moves there, but.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, you have, I think you have two of your You had 2 of your 3 defenders just then playing far up on the line past midfield. Bessler was one of them. And now Donovan picks up the ball, fighting against Andrada. And Frazier gets his jersey grabbed, and the free kick will go to the Millionaires. Plenty of contact at midfield right now, Tom.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of aggressiveness from both teams so far. I mean,
yeah, especially, Hernandez is a big name for sure when it comes to that. And Cusson bats it away and brings it down. A great save right at the crossbar. He was not taking any chances. The Hawks want the shutout. Pass almost gets all the way up to Graydon Gifford, and now Donovan crashes the boards. Sent forward, Pachurik, and he runs into the defender. Not banged up at all. Took the hit like a champ, and now there's the mismatch again. I'd say at least 4 inches taller than him, easily. Hernandez, we'll give him some credit. He's a sophomore. Well, hold on a minute, because I think, no, they're both sophomores. Yeah. I was going to say, Casey might be a couple years older than him, but they're in the same grade.
Yeah.
Just a lot of back and forth right in the middle. Frazier from the back line moves it forward up to Carter Miller. He's looking for Pachurik, who is there on the near side. Centering pass, Frazier in the box. Larson, and he pulls it wide left. And that's the kind of energy that you want to see from your goalie. Dragonetti wasn't sure if it was going to be there or not, but he dove for it anyway.
Yeah. He's done well so far, and a couple shots on goal from the Hawks, and he saved them. So
yeah, he's been holding his own in the box, and we've had no score change so far in the first 13 minutes of the second half. Where we had 3 or 4 goals at this point in the first half.
Yeah.
It was a crazy start to this game, and especially after the way that we'd heard some of the players talk about how it might be. That was not what we were expecting at all, honestly, or at least not the impression that I thought I was being given. Maybe I just misread them.
We both thought it was going to be a much closer game to start off, but.
And what a play from Hernandez on his back to move it forward to his teammate. That was a great job. A line drive past Valderrama. And Frazier trying to put a move on the striker. And Valderrama, it slips by his foot. Throw-in, going to be taken quickly. Back to Elvis. Collins. And a little bit too far up the middle. Popped up, headed forward. And now Cachuango trying to calm it down. Heads it forward for the Red Hawks. And now Larson in a one-on-one with Collins, who will pass it away to Carter Miller. And now it finds its way to Gus Radner. Another rough pass kills a chance for the Millionaires, and Radner will take it up himself before he passes it off to TJ Donovan. Donovan to the outside and headed out of the box. Larson trying to move it back in. Wins a challenge. Trying to go 2 for 2. He's getting held, and Radner wanted a call there as Hernandez cuts back to avoid the incoming Ian Pachurik. Collins shoots his guy right in the gut, who had to dodge out of the way. And Hernandez makes a nice move, staying away from Carter Miller, and gets it up the field to his teammate. Staying with him is Frazier, and Miller taps it out of bounds off of his back heel.
Yeah, now this could be an opportunity for Lenox. They just got to take advantage of this throw-in that they have close to Frontier zone.
This is Harper Janig on the throw-in. Now it's already on the other side of the field. Andrada will take it, and will now hand it off. 25 minutes on the clock. No score change since the start of the second half as Cachuango heads the throw-in out of the box, and it's sent down the field in the direction of Graydon Gifford. Gifford won't get to the ball as it's kept away from him by the back line of the Millionaires and sent all the way to Ben Cachuango, who makes it the smart play, kicks it out of bounds.
Yeah. Give Lenox a throw-in now.
I mean, you got to give the Millionaires credit. They're not giving up. Definitely disheartened in the first half, but now they kind of have seemed to become re-energized, and that will be an interesting call here. Both players went down at the same time. Let's see what happens. Reaching in his pocket, and a card coming out.
For Lenox, yeah.
It looks like it.
So their second yellow card of the game. I mean.
Yeah. And coming off the field, we'll see who it is in a moment. It looks like that's Sean Collins, actually. That's a rough call for them right there. One of the players that has been making a big difference throughout the whole game for them.
Yeah.
And has just been there consistently, not giving up. Frazier takes the drive. Brought forward by Radner. Pleasant ends up with Eric Larson, sidestep, trying to get it to Donovan, who is there in the far corner. A little bit too hard for Pleasant, and it will be a corner kick. Going to be taken by Gus Radner. We've seen several corners for the Red Hawks, and only, I think, I could count on one hand how many we've seen for the Millionaires, which just shows you, I mean, how much they've been in their offensive end. Hand goes up, and a short pass to Larson, who cuts to this baseline, looking for someone in the box, and there's no one there. Frazier stops the ball, trying to move it forward. Couple nice moves through the triple team. Cachuango sends it high. He wants it. I mean, man.
Yeah, another opportunity for the Hawks. I mean, that was a nice shot on goal by Cachuango.
I think that might be, I mean, he hasn't had any shots on target so far, I don't think, but he has had several in the area, and I mean, he really wants to put it in the net tonight. He had one in his last game, as we said before, and I mean, he's hungry. He puts in a lot of work for this team, and now Pleasant, maybe an opportunity. He gets boxed out by the defender. Whistle blown for a Lenox free kick.
Yeah, and Lenox, they got to take advantage of this this opportunity they have.
Long strike, headed off of Cachuango. It was the back of his head. I don't know how he did that. That was just some great awareness and positioning. And Larson loses the ball in between his legs. Finally gets it out to Donovan, who finds Pachurik, who has a bandaged right hand, by the way. And now, look at this. Whistle is blown. Not sure what the call is going to be. Watching the ref's hand to see if it goes in his pocket, and it won't. It'll just be a free kick for the Red Hawks. So I think what might have happened is you saw the defender go down, and he was desperate. You might have reached out and grabbed Pleasant's foot or something.
Yeah, maybe it was a handball too.
That too, yeah, he could have reached out and touched the ball because, I mean, honestly, great job on him for making a smart play because now everyone is in position. Otherwise, it would have been just a breakaway pretty much.
Yeah, it would have been a one-on-one between him and the goalie. So
out to the top of the box. Radner can't punch it through. And a nice move over the head of Radner. Andrade can't get it by Diego Frazier. Now Pleasant, who almost had an opportunity just a few seconds ago, tries to find Donovan on the far side. Andrade pushes Donovan away, and it's cleared out over Cachuango. Frazier's there, and now Cachuango a little bit too far for Donovan. It will be a Hawks throw-in. Carter Miller getting some well-deserved rest. He's been putting on the work on the near side, and Collins will come back in after his yellow card. Bakari is on for Carter Miller. It is still 5-0, 20 minutes to go in the game, and no signs of stopping from the Red Hawks, but the Millionaires have been persistent.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they've done a lot better defensively in this half.
Definitely.
Than they did at first. So.
Yeah. They're starting to figure out what Frontier likes to do offensively, and that definitely is showing, but they still haven't figured out how to break through the Hawks' backline, which, to be fair, very few teams have figured out how to do. I mean, the amount of goals that the Hawks have let up on the season is, I'm not making this up, it's literally 2.
Wow.
They've let up 2 goals in the season.
That's pretty impressive.
That's actually insane,
yeah.
Considering that this is their 10th game of the year. Frazier helps Andrada up after they collide, going for the ball. Will be a throw-in on the far side, close to the corner for the Millionaires. High throw-in. Cachuanga will just boot it back out of bounds. Keeps it low this time and will roll out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like Lenox, they almost had another opportunity there, but it was just Frontier capitalized on it. So.
Yeah. And I mean, the other thing is I'm not seeing a lot of movement in that set play. There's guys standing there waiting for the throw-in, and you got to move. You got to create some chaos in there to throw the defenders off. And when you don't do that, the defenders are going to be exactly where they need to be because these are smart guys. So they know exactly what they need to do and where they need to do it. And if you don't create some confusion there, it just makes their job all that much easier.
Yeah.
Popped up. Pleasant will get there after the defender takes a tumble up to Bakari, who has a goal earlier. That was a beautiful lob that he scored, if I remember right. Puts it in the top shelf.
Yep.
And so he's back out there. And now Pachurik will get some rest as Will Redding comes onto the field. Receives a long throw in right at the middle. Up to the top of the box. And with the outside of his foot, sends it wide to the left.
Yeah, nice opportunity from Will there, but just couldn't capitalize on it.
I will say, I do feel like, I mean, we kind of said this already, but Dragonetti has been holding his own in the keeper's box for the second half. I mean, hasn't been challenged quite as much because, as we said, Lenox has improved defensively, but he's still faced a few chances. And here's one. Pleasant stutters, and he puts it away.
Goodness.
Oh, what a move. Henry Pleasant with the shot fake, and then he buries it in the bottom corner.
Yeah, nice job by Frontier there. As we were just saying that he's been doing a well job in the goal.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I still say that he has, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a great move from Pleasant, and, you know, that should have been covered by the defenders by all rights. 17:30 on the clock, and a misread pass from Hernandez. Bakari trying to turn it the other way. Pass back to Redding, who's going to find Radner on the near side. Gus Radner up to Bakari. Might look to pass back, but it's covered. The cross won't get to Millette in time. And now Sean Collins, who's down one yellow card, takes out Gus Radner, and you have to wonder, is this going to be his second?
yeah.
No, it does not look like it, but it will be a free kick in one of the best positions you can hope for, honestly.
Yeah, very well. Very good position for the Hawks here. I mean, they could score again, Mason.
Yeah. And
Correction, goal scored by Henry Pleasant.
there we go. And now we're getting the fan reaction. So Radner will be taking it. Has a wall in front of him. There's the strike. And, oh, what a save. Dragonetti punches it away. And that's why we've been saying he's been holding his own. He goes for it, and he can lay out if he wants to, and he can reach his hands up there too.
Yeah, I mean, he did an excellent job there. So
Yeah, not out of the woods yet, though. Radner going to be taking the corner in a moment as Vincent Warner comes on to relieve TJ Donovan. Vincent Warner in position now. Hand goes up from Radner, and it's headed out. Radner will get the rebound, send it right back in, and ball still loose. Bakari can't get there. And Lenox still has yet to clear the ball. Foul going to be called I'm not sure exactly what the call was. Bakari motioned to the ref, and then the hand went up, and so did the whistle. Lennox coach has his hand on his head. I don't know if he knows what it was either.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing, I mean, it'll give Frontier yet another opportunity to score. So.
Yeah, I mean, a direct shot at the goal is what we can be looking at from Gus Radner, and he won't take it, tries to get a header in the pack. Radner, now with some room off of the rebound, gets his legs taken out, and that will be a penalty kick.
I thought the ref was going to card him there, but...
I thought so, too. And now Dragonetti really being put to the test here.
Yeah.
It's already 6-0. Can Gus Radner match the score against Mahar that they just had?
Yeah, this is another big opportunity for the Hawks.
Yeah. That game was 4 days ago, if I'm counting backwards right. Dragonetti pounding the ground. He's getting ready.
Yep.
Ref's whistle. Radner. Oh. And he puts it away. 7-0.
I mean, that'll be Frontier's 7th goal of the night.
And man. Now, I haven't been keeping track of the goals. I don't think that we've seen a hat trick. I think we might have seen 2 goals by the same player, but actually that might not have happened. And I have some other great news in the other world of sports. The Mets have beat the Brewers in the first game of the wild card series for the National League. 14 minutes on the clock back in South Deerfield as the Millionaires are down 7-0 against the Red Hawks, who, double checking my sheet here, only 1 loss in their league, on top of their league, first place, and ranked 4th in Division 4. The only team right now at Frontier that's ranked higher than them in their division is the field hockey team, who's ranked 3rd in their Division 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they just had a great win on their senior night against Agawam, 2-0. Vincent Warner racing back. And cleared out by Frazier. Will be a throw-in for the Red Hawks, it looks like. How's Andrade in the middle of that whole contest? Ball is popped up on the throw-in from Vincent Warner, and will go the other way. Andrade skipping over some legs, and will be a free kick for the Millionaires. This is the other thing that the Millionaires have struggled on. We talked about it a little bit when it happened before, but the set plays. If you have guys in the box, what are they doing? And we're going to be watching them right now.
Yeah, I mean, they have this opportunity. They really need to take advantage of it and try to at least get a goal in this game.
And there's some good movement. Cussin, and they do put it in.
Oh, wow.
The shutout is avoided by Michelangelo Hernandez, who has been playing his heart out in this game. He's been doing everything that he can. And 2 subs coming in for the Red Hawks, Adrian Pazmandi, and now I'm forgetting his last name, Mickey Barlow. I believe it's Barlow, and I'm so sorry if I forgot your name. But the important thing is he is an 8th grader playing on the varsity squad right now. So,
very impressive.
Yeah, and a great job. Also impressive is the Millionaires avoiding the shutout there. I mean, might be down 7-1, but at least it's not 7-0 anymore. I mean,
yeah, and that's Frontier's 3rd goal they let up this season. I mean, 3 goals in 10 games is really impressive.
And that, honestly, I already can hear them talking to me after the game. You know, we're just disappointed we let up that goal. You know, it's like we should have stopped that. And Hernandez still just has so much left in the tank with 12 minutes left. He just made that whole play happen himself, worked through 2 defenders, and he seems to have figured out something that most teams in Western Mass have yet to figure out, and that's how to get through Frontier's back line.
Yeah.
To be fair, two of the starting guys on that back line are sitting down on the bench right now, Bessler and Cachuongo. Down on the field is one of the Millionaires, slow to get up, as Hernandez once again is trying to make something happen all by himself. And it's cleared out. Looks like that was Collins who was slow to get up. And Barlow in the mix there. Pops the ball loose. And Hernandez will keep it in play along the sideline. Pass back. And Collins will pick it up. Finds a lane. And shoved down by Frazier is Fyodor.
Yeah, and that gives Lenox another opportunity to score with good field position. So.
And Frazier talks to the ref for a moment, and he will be subbing out. Cachuongo comes in after taking a short break on the bench. And the wall right at the top of the box for the Red Hawks. Ball moved back by the ref. Sean Collins will be the one taking the kick as Henry Pleasant runs forward to cover a man in the box. Let's see what Collins wants to do. He'll take it right to the goal, and it's stopped by Cussin. Nice and easy right to his chest. And I said it before we started the second half, but these 40 minutes have been going by just about as slow as you could imagine them to be. I mean, especially in the cold. The breeze has been on and off, but it's definitely chilly. And I keep looking at the clock. How much time is left? Yeah. It's just slogging by. But Millette now back to Pasmandy. Gets a nice pass off to Vincent Warner on the far side. And now Redding back to Vincent Warner, who'll cut back, can't quite bring it down, and now it's cleared out of bounds. Almost hits the camera guy over there. I thought that was going to ding him.
Yeah, no, I did as well. He was very lucky that it didn't.
Yeah, well, he probably knew it wasn't going to hit him, but he was just holding his own there. He didn't flinch. Vincent Warner takes the throw-in. Millette in the middle. Redding has an opening, takes the shot, and it gets through the arms of Dragonetti. Will be wide, but will also be a corner for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, we got about 9-10 left to go in this game.
And it looks like it's going to be Mickey Barlow who will be taking the corner kick for the Red Hawks since Gus Radner is on the bench right now. Hand goes up, and it's a ground ball picked up by Pleasant, trying to turn the corner. Millette off balance, and it will be a goal kick for the Millionaires. Dragonetti will not take the goal kick. Pasmandy goes down off of the header, but Vincent Warner is there to cover him. Up against Fyodor. And Vincent Warner wins the throw-in. Takes it quickly up to Barlow, and now it's back to Millette, who sent it across the field to Valderrama. That's a name I'm glad to call again. We had Aiden Valderrama on the field last year, Tristan's older brother, and now he's getting plenty of playing time in this game. And that's Fripp, who will pass it over to Barlow. And now a line drive up the field in between the two center backs. And now Bakari.
Good ball movement here.
Redding calling out for the ball. And now plenty of shouting from the Hawks. Redding seems to have started a trend, I guess. And Pleasant gets around the tackle, trying to find Redding. It's a little bit too far behind him. He hooked it. And Bakari gets back there in time. Plenty of guys on the line there for the Red Hawks to pass to, but he moves it up to Bakari. Sends it forward, and it's kicked away by a defender for Lenox. Barlow, the soft pass. Redding gets by a midfielder. And Fripp can't penetrate through the line either. like we said, the Lenox defense has improved.
Yeah,
but Frontier's staying right with them.
Yeah. I mean, to only let up 2 goals in this half so far, I mean, very impressive. Unlike the first half where it was 4 goals off the rip.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the craziest starts I've seen to a soccer game in a while. And it's also worth mentioning, since those 2 chants that I believe got shut down by our athletic director, Glenn Sullivan, the crowd has been pretty quiet for the Red Hawks. Understandably so. I mean, they're winning the game by a long shot. And, I mean, at the end of the day, it is a high school game. And we have that message read out at the start of several, most sports games. Barlow can't quite get there. 6 minutes to go, and we've got 1 minute until the clock will stop on the scoreboard. And then we'll have 5 minutes that will be kept track of by the refs on the field, where we will not know when the game will end or if it will continue. Larson is back on the field, giving Max Millette a bit of a break. That's Bakari with it. The cross brought down by the foot of Andrada. Moves by Vincent Warner. Andrada gets it back himself, sending it way in front of him, but Pazmandi beats him to it, and it goes out of bounds. Hawks throwing. Talk about speed from Pazmandi. I mean, this is why so many of these guys are so fast, Tom, because they all run track in the spring. Yeah. Plenty of them also play spring soccer with a club or some indoor team as well. But they also, most of them, run track, and they're good. Yeah. They're really good. And the throw from Cusson over to Bakari gets by 2 defenders. Fripp down the field. He's looking for Henry Pleasant, who will force a Red Hawks throw-in. Going to be taken by Eric Larson.
Now we're in that 5-minute zone.
And sub coming in, Pleasant, taking a break for the final minutes of the game as Graydon Gifford, who started this game, came out. Redding, defense closes in, and he sends it to the corner where Bakari is there. Tries to make a move to the inside, and he gets shut down. The clear is stopped by Valderrama right around midfield. Gets it past Hernandez. Bakari, pass up. Larson, nice move, takes the far side, and there's a whistle. I don't know what it's for, and it will be turned over to the Millionaires.
I'm not sure what the call is there either.
Being told it's offside, even though he didn't pass it to anyone. Valderrama heads it back forward to Barlow, and now Collins going to work again, just dancing around Frontier's forwards, and he sends it down the field, might get it to one of his players, and Bakari will keep it in play. Keeps it away from Hernandez, and now it's sent over the head of Barlow. Redding heads it back to Barlow, who tries to get it to Redding, is stopped, still fighting for it, and now it'll find its way over to Larson. A great job from Mickey Barlow, and the pass from Bakari is intercepted, sent back to Fripp, who heads it forward to Larson, and now it's back to Valderrama. Taking plenty of time, and pass forward to Bakari is a little too far. Well, despite a quiet crowd right now, Tom, I mean, this place is going to be pretty packed and pretty loud in the next 2 games that we're going to see here. I believe that they are both games. One of the East Hampton game might be at Hurley, but their second game, which I didn't get to mention before actually, maybe the biggest game of the year in the regular season for this team. Home here at 7 against Hampshire on October 7th. Now, Hampshire was the only team that was able to beat them last year, and they have always been a big rival of this Red Hawks team. So that's expected to be a great game. We'll be there to cover that. And it's also expected to be a big turnout for the fans. And a nice move from Barlow. over to Larson. Now he leaves it for Redding, who cuts back to the inside. Wind up and stuffed by Dragonetti.
Yeah, it was a nice shot on goal by Will Redding, but Dragonetti was able to collect it there.
Ref looking at his watch. A lot of people keeping their eye on him, waiting for the whistle. Hawks plenty dominant in these final minutes. Hernandez been almost completely shut down by Valderrama on the near side. Sent forward. Gifford, the pass over to Bakari. And now that's taken away. Millionaires maybe with a late chance. The pass goes forward. Theodore looking for it up against Cachuango, and he might have just won them a throw-in. No, he did not, as the ref shouts out blue for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, I think it was off one of those Millionaires' foot.
Yeah, but a throw-in deep in their territory by any means. Bakari into Barlow, and just didn't quite have his balance, it looked like. Lets it go out of bounds. Collins into Theodore, and they lose the ball immediately to Sam Bakari, who then loses it back to Hernandez. Pass back to Collins. He sends it forward into the box, just about the only thing he can do, and Cussin scoops it up. Everyone just still glancing back at the ref. They're waiting for the whistle. It feels like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it feels like more than 5 minutes.
Definitely does.
And, the pass goes off of the back of Graydon Gifford, and they might have called that for a handball, which I would believe. He had no idea the ball was coming to him, so it could have hit him anywhere, and he wouldn't have been able to do anything about it. It will be a free kick for the Millionaires by any rate. Ref looking at his watch again. And there's the whistle. Hawks pull off their 8th win of the season, go to 8-1-1 with a 7-1 win against the Lenox Millionaires. That is the 3rd goal that they have let up all season.
Yeah, very impressive. Great game all around by the Red Hawks. And the Millionaires, I mean, they played much better in that second half, Mason.
100%, yeah, absolutely. It was definitely a really tough start for them, and it didn't make it any easier that the Hawks completely capitalized on just about every misstep that they had. The Hawks were able to read them so clearly in the first half, especially in the first 10-15 minutes. Then they kind of settled into a bit of a rhythm. Hawks still very dominant, but in the start of that first half, or the start of the second half, they came out strong, and you really thought maybe we could see a couple goals out of these guys. They eventually got one. But they will move to 4-6 now as the Hawks stay on top of their conference and maybe even move up a spot in their divisional ranking. So we will be back to cover this team very soon next week, where they will have their game against Hampshire here. And I think they also have a game the following day against Pathfinder. Maybe here as well. That could be it. I'm not sure. But anyway, final score for the final time, 7-1. Red Hawks pull off their 8th win of the season. I've been Mason Smith, here with Tom Alver, Amalia Smith, Amelia Hartner, Kevin Murphy, all the rest of the FCAT crew. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. We hope you have a wonderful evening. You've been watching Frontier Community Access Television. Good night.